This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
Makalaka ding dong. Welcome into another episode of the Fantasy Roadshow with your boys here. My name is Truck, and I am joined, as always, by the infamous, the great, the one and only Shane O'Mac. And today's a very special day. It's our first mock draft of the season. I am super pumped about this, Shane. I'm sure you are as well. And I'm excited to get into it. I'm going to explain the mock draft here, and then we'll get it kicked off.
Can I just say something real quick before you get into it?
Yeah, sorry.
Can I just say, mock, yeah,
Yeah.
bird, yeah.
Okay, all right.
A little throwback.
All right, throwback to a couple of years ago when we did the mock draft song. That was fun. But okay, before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. You guys are the best. Thanks for tuning in. This is a 12-team PPR mock draft. It is 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 2 flex, no kickers, no defense, with about 5 or 6 bench spots. I think we're doing 14 rounds, 60 seconds per pick. And I have the number 1 pick, and Shane is all the way at the end at the number 12. We have mostly a full lobby here. We have 3 teams that will be auto drafting. It's tough to fill up a lobby with live people. These are all league mates from various leagues that we're in. We got I'm in the 1 spot, like I said. Kolzicki, the Kolzicki, is in the 102. He's right next to me. I hate when he does that right in the draft. And then we got Austin in the 3rd spot. We got the Danny Cousins, legend of himself, Danny Cousins, auto draft team 5. We got Mike McLean in spot 6, Chris Lagan in spot 7. We got the man, the trade master himself, Huang, in spot 8. A couple auto drafts there, and then we got Mike Lagan and Shane O'Mac. So we're going to get right into it. Shane, are you ready to start?
I'm ready. Yes, let's do it.
Okay, well, let's kick it off. Here we go. We're starting the mock draft. I should turn off my music on my phone because I think that was that sound. And I am going to take the player that should be taken in 101 in these drafts. I'm taking Jamar Chase. I think it's pretty chalk. I love Jamar. We saw what he did last year was an insane season with Joe Burrow, and I think he does it again this year. So I feel like taking him at the 101 is pretty safe. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, I think it is for sure. I'm actually a little concerned. Like I'm not going to be taking probably Barkley at 2.
Okay.
I'm a little probably concerned of the workload as far as just that high. I'm probably going to go Bijan over him, but that's just a personal preference for me.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. We all know how much Culls loves Saquon Barkley. I think he was like the 101 last year, or the 102 outside of Jamar Chase. So Culls is high on Barkley. We're high on Bijan. But it's tit for tat with those two. Those, easy. Danny Cousins is in the 4th spot. I wonder where he's going to go. Let's pull up the draft board here. We got Justin Jefferson, Jahmyr Gibbs, CeeDee Lamb. Oh, and we got a couple of picks fired off here. So we got Justin Jefferson goes at the 104, and then Gibbs goes to the auto drafter at 5. Yeah. Who are you hoping to get here in the back half of with the last pick of the draft there, Shane?
I'm probably going to be going, 1 running back. So I'd be pulling the trigger on like a Genty if he falls there, and then go with my top ranked receiver, whoever ends up falling there. So
yeah, it's going to be tough with those auto drafters right in front of you to get certain people to fall to you. It is what it is. But we got CeeDee Lamb at the 106. I love CeeDee Lamb's value at the 106. Yeah. I feel like that's a great pick by Mike McLean right there. So very happy about that one. That's a good pick. And then Malik Neighbors goes to Chris Lagan at the 107. Huang takes Puka Nacua, and then we got the auto drafters taking Henry and St. Brown. So Shane, it's looking like Genty might fall to you here. Let's see where Mike Lagan goes. I'm curious. He normally loves taking running backs pretty early, but he goes Nico Collins. So Shane, what do you do here?
So this is an easy one for me. The first one is just Genty because of the workload. And then, I'm looking at my top ranked receiver and staying true to my ranks. And for me, it would have been Collins, but I've got Drake London 1 spot ahead of BTJ. So
very nice. Very nice. Yeah. I love that combo to start at the back end of the draft with Genty and London. I feel like you're getting two solid, stable pieces for your roster. Two great picks there, Shane.
Yeah.
All right, let's see where Mike goes here. If he goes 2 wide receivers, he takes Bowers at the second pick of the second round, and then we got 2 auto drafters taking A-Chain and Brian Thomas Jr. Let's see where Juan goes. Christian McCaffrey, insane value.
Probably the lowest I've seen him slide in a mock.
I can't believe it. I probably would have taken Shane. I would have taken Christian McCaffrey over Ashton Genty.
Yeah, I know you would have. Yeah.
So that would have been my pick at where you drafted. But Huang starting with Nakua and McCaffrey is phenomenal to me.
Yeah, that's where he's worth taking there for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, I will be honest with you. In certain drafts, I might take him at the 108.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Depending on the
I keep warming up to him a little bit more.
Yeah, so. I'm extra high on him. And then Chris goes with AJ Brown to pair up with Neighbors, 2 wide receivers start, and then McLean goes CeeDee Lamb and Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving's going right around the 207 in the middle of the second round. And then we got Gibbs and McConkey going to the auto drafted team. Danny Cousins taking Chase Brown. Okay, so I'm going to get ready here. Let's see. We got Josh Allen is going at the back end of the second there. We got Josh Jacobs. Trey McBride is going at the late second. So now we got 2 tight ends going. The two studs going in the second round there. So that's interesting, I will say. But right here, Coles is taking a pick, but he goes Tyreek Hill. So I got the 2 quarterbacks. You got Allen and Jackson here that I could take at the 2-3. Excuse me. I'm looking to take a running back here between Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams. Those are like the 3 running backs that would go at this range. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to get them on the next wave. But I need to take a running back here because I don't want to wait until rounds 4 or 5 to get a running back.
No.
So I'm going to go ahead and take Josh Jacobs with this next pick to lock down a stud running back who gets a really good workload over there in Green Bay. Yeah. He's like the engine that moves that offense. And then after that, I'm looking at wide receivers here. Love T. Higgins, but I already have Chase. I don't really want to get that combo here in just a standard league.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's the Josh Allen pick. I love Josh Allen. I'm not going to take a quarterback early. I'm going to wait and see what quarterbacks are available later on. So realistically, my options here, Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Jackson Smith, and Jigba is someone that's very interesting to me. And I think I'm going to go with, I'm going to go another running back. I'm pivoting. I'm going to lock in 2 running backs and see how my team looks after I wait a while to grab another one. With Jackson Smith and Jigba is who I was really hesitant about drafting there. Rashee Rice goes at the 3-2. That's a great pick. But Jackson Smith and Jigba, to me, there's just some question marks there with Sam Darnold at quarterback and Cooper Kupp over there in the offense as well. I think JSN's going to have a great year, but I just have trouble taking him over elite running backs after I drafted Chase at the 101. What do you think?
And Taylor, I think we're going to see Danny Dimes there at quarterback. That's good for Taylor. He ended the season so strong, like 25 PPR points he averaged. No competition there in the backfield. So he doesn't have the heavy. I'm taking probably Taylor now over Kyron Williams. He doesn't have quite the heavy touch volume that
I agree.
Has, so
yeah, I agree.
And more competition in that Rams backfield for sure.
Yeah. So what do you think about Coles' start? Barkley, Hill, Rashee Rice.
That's Rice is pretty good. Yeah, Rice is going in round 3.
He definitely. I think Coles took him over his ADP.
Yeah,
shows that Coles is higher on Rashee Rice. But we talked about him in the wide receiver episode. Like this, he's capable of being the stud over there for Patrick Mahomes. So, and then Austin takes the quarterback. So he goes tight end and elite tight end and elite quarterback. In the round 2 and 3 with Bijan. Solid start. We'll see how it plays out. Danny Cousins over there with Justin Jefferson, Chase Brown, and then grabbing Lamar Jackson. And then we have 2 picks later, Jaden Daniels. So we got the top three quarterbacks all going around 3. What do you think about that, Shane?
Yeah, I think that's where you're going to see. I mean, I think you're going to see some drafts where Lamar and Josh Allen are in the second, but I definitely think we're going to see Jaden Daniels in round 3 after that year.
Yeah. I'm just surprised. I thought one of those 3 were going to drop to the round 4, not for my pick, but just to see them drop in round 4. But all 3 of them going around 3, and then Chris Lagan. Real quick before your pick is up, Chris Lagan starts with 3 wide receivers: Neighbors, Brown, and Garrett Wilson. Solid start. I'd like to see how that plays out as he waits for running back. Maybe going with a 0 RB strategy. We'll see what happens there. And then we got Harrison, JSN. See, JSN falls all the way to the 309. I was considering taking him at the 4 or at the 3-1, so glad I didn't take him there. And then Higgins, Breece Hall, and your pick, Shane. 30 seconds on you.
So I'm going to go with, I think, I'm going wide receiver again. I think this he's catching a lot of negative slack recently. I wouldn't be surprised if his ADP is slipping, but I think McLaurin and Terry's just like one of the safers.
Scary Terry, baby. Terry McLaurin. I knew you were going to take him. He's a great wide receiver. I want him on my teams, but
yeah,
I get what you're saying. Isn't he looking for a new contract?
He is looking, yeah. I don't think there's any chance he's going to be holding out or anything in that regard. So
yeah,
I think there's no problem there.
All right, what else you got, Shane?
And then probably I'm going to deviate a little bit in this draft than what I probably was going to do in some drafts, but I want to see how it plays out. I'm going to go with an elite tight end early. So I just think, we got the news now that Jennings may be wanting to hold out. There's just so many targets going to be available potentially there.
Yeah, I was holding out hope, blind hope that Kittle would fall all the way to the back end of the 4th. But he's a great tight end and is considered, in my opinion, to be one of the elite tight ends with Bowers and McBride. So getting him in the 4th round is great. All right, we got more picks here fired off. We got James Cook partnered up with Breece Hall, Bowers, and Nico Collins in there in that pick 11. And then Evans, Adams, we got Kenneth Walker, and then Omari and Hampton going to Chris Lagan. To me, it's too early to be taking Omari and Hampton. I feel like his ADP is too high. Chris, I think that was a bad pick. That may play out for you, and you never know. Omari and Hampton may come out and absolutely explode for that team. But with Najee Harris still there, I don't see him taking a majority of the snaps right away. And then you're having him as your RB1. That's high upside for sure, but questionable to say the least. And then we got McLean grabbing Alvin Kamara, one of my favorite RB2s, partnered up with Bucky Irving. This is a PPR league, so grabbing those 2 running backs, solid start with Jaden Daniels and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, Danny Cousins took the guy. I think I would take Hubbard over Hampton as an RB1. I think he's locked in, safe, high floor every week.
Yes, absolutely. I like Hubbard and I like Brown. That's a solid start. Danny Cousins starting off with the first 4 rounds. Very, very nice. I do enjoy that. Is Cole's going to take Joe Burrow from me? Because I have Chase. Do you think he's going to do it?
Yes, I think so.
I think he's going to do it just to troll me. We'll see what happens, but I'm definitely going to be grabbing Joe Burrow here in one of these picks. Other than Joe Burrow, we got Cortland Sutton, DK Metcalf, Sam Laporta, Zay Flowers, Devontae Smith, James Conner, one of my favorite players ever, TJ Hawkinson, Xavier Worthy, Dave Montgomery, Jameson Williams, Pickens, and the list goes on. I'm looking at Cortland Sutton and I'm looking at Joe Burrow. Yeah. Those are the 2 I'm looking at. I think Cortland Sutton, we talked about him in our wide receiver episode. Is just a solid. Oh, he doesn't take him. Devontae Smith. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and grab
Sutton's a no-brainer. I mean, we referenced it in the show. It was over the last 8 weeks. He was just 0.12 points behind Justin Jefferson in points per game. So
yeah, absolutely. And I love the start that I've got going here with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, and then Jacobs and Taylor as my 2 anchor running backs. I'm going to be waiting quite a few rounds to grab my next running back, but being able to get Cortland Sutton as my wide receiver 2, I feel like is really propelling this team into a better spot. So Cole starts with one running back, goes 3 wide receivers here. We'll see where he goes with his 5th pick. Are you happy with your start so far, Shane?
I'll see. The thing I may just regret is going with Kittle with the tight end as opposed to Cook or Walker for my running back two.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Okay.
But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Coles isn't on. Looks like Coles is going to be getting Jalen Hurts. So he's on auto draft, but we appreciate you tuning in there, Coles, and trying to draft. And then we got an RB2, David Montgomery for Austin here in the 5th round. David Montgomery is one of those guys that's just like getting him as an RB2, like he's going to get a ton of work. He's going to score touchdowns. They love him there. I still like David Montgomery. I just am not sure at this point right here. I think I'd rather have James Conner.
Yeah,
I think I'd rather have as far as I think James Conner is the only other running back that I'd have over him. Maybe Isaiah Pacheco, but that would be close between Isaiah Pacheco and Montgomery. I probably need to double check and make sure I have Pacheco over Montgomery because now that I think about it. And then Danny Cousins grabbing his wide receiver 2 is DK Metcalf. That's a solid pick.
I think that's the perfect wide receiver 2 to go with, the guy who's the number 1 target with no competition around there.
No competition yet. We'll see if what Pittsburgh is going to do in the future. But I like Danny's start. I really do. Hawkinson goes at the 5-5 to the auto drafter, and then James Conner. Mike McLean grabbing 3 running backs who I love. I think they're going to be solid running backs here. He's planning on putting a running back in one of his flex spots because there's 2 flex. So taking your RB3 in the 5th round means you locked that flex, right? Having wide receivers, if you wait, you have more flexibility on who to start and who to not. But I don't mind the strategy of grabbing an early 3rd running back. What do you think?
No, I think if it's fine, I think Connor, as long as he's healthy, he's got plenty of volume. Same thing with Kamara, at least at the beginning. So,
yeah, I wonder where Chris is going to go here. I don't think he's going to go another wide receiver. Probably looking for grab Zay Flowers. Okay.
Oh, I don't Zay Flowers.
I don't love it. Yeah,
the show hates Zay Flowers. Just sorry, but this show hates Zay Flowers.
Yes, and Huang takes Patrick Mahomes. He starts with 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a quarterback there in the 5th round. It's not a bad pick. Mahomes falling to the 5th round. I think he's left a bad taste in people's mouths after last year. I had people texting me. Actually, I'll put him on blast. Chris Lagan was texting me last year towards the end of the season about how Patrick Mahomes he's done. Like he's no longer a fantasy relevant quarterback, and I was arguing with him quite a bit. He likes to push my buttons, but anyway, Shane, you're on the clock. Isaiah Pacheco just went right before you. I'm sure that's who you wanted.
That was good. I had him all teed up.
Yeah, Mike Lagan with the snipe.
For my RB2, I want somebody that's going to get high touch volume. So Pacheco, I thought, was one of those guys. The guy I'm going to go with, who I think has the 2nd highest touch volume with no competition, is Swift. I'm buying into the Ben Johnson offense. Better year. They didn't bring anybody in with free agency or the draft to threaten him.
You're reaching a little bit on him, right? I mean,
I don't care. I don't think he makes it back to me in round 7 potentially. So,
well, that's the thing about our draft spots, right? Reaching when you're at this point in the draft, it's not a big deal because you have to make decisions on who's going to get back to you. Shane, you got 30 seconds on your next pick.
Yeah. So then my second pick, I'm going to go with I'm just going to go with the upside there for my wide receiver 3, number 1 target on the offense. So,
Shane, with the start of and taking Kittle in the 4th, I think your last 2 picks really round out your team. Love Swift as an RB2, getting him, where you got him was a little above ADP, but I don't mind it. And then Ted McMillan, like grabbing him for your flex spot, that could end up working out really well for you.
Yeah.
And then Chris Olave goes. I don't know what the deal is with Olave. He's like Zay Flowers. I'm just not going to have either one of those guys on my team. Mike Lagan, I don't know what you were thinking about taking him. I'd rather have Jameson Williams.
Yeah, it's his wide receiver 2. Yeah.
Yeah, as my wide receiver 2, I'd rather have Jameson Williams. And then Jordan Addison goes. Baker Mayfield goes in the 6th round. to the auto draft team. But what are you gonna do? Travion Henderson. So now Chris Lagan is doubling down on rookie running backs, taking Omari and Hampton in the 4th, and then Travion Henderson in the 6th. Bold strategy. We'll see how that works out for him. Travis Hunter as Mike McLean's wide receiver 2, right there behind Jordan Addison. I would probably take Hunter over Addison. And then Pickens falls to the 8th pick of the 6th round to the auto drafting team. But let me get out of there. Let's see where Danny Cousins goes. Got a balanced start, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a quarterback. Went with the elite quarterback strategy. Coles is back on. I bet he's kind of mad that he got Jalen Hurts. I'm sure he just logged off. He's probably done drafted. Danny Cousins grabs his RB3 with RJ Harvey.
So that's kind of like with my wide receiver 3 pick. If I'm going RB3, I want the high upside. So I want Tet as for wide receiver, and I'd want like Harvey as the running back upside if you're going to do that.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, RJ Harvey in Denver, he should be really good. J.K. Dobbins is still going to be there. He's someone I'll be looking at late. But, I mean, Harvey, it's hard to argue with Harvey's ability when he gets on the football field. So as an RB3, I think that's a great spot to draft a rookie running back.
I just think if you're looking at that point, you go RB3. That I don't want to take like Aaron Jones that may have a high safe floor. I just want to shoot for the upside, the potential league winner in the second half of the season.
Absolutely. Now I'm wondering, Kelsey's ADP is rising. Have you noticed this?
No, I haven't. So it's coming up from round 9.
I see he's right up here at the 7th.
It is
at the pick 73. That's kind of crazy to me. I'm not taking him there. So I got to think about this here because I have a pretty balanced squad here, so I could really go in any direction I want with the 6th round pick. You got Chris Godwin, we got Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley. I'm gonna see if I could have skipped on Joe Burrow. I got to make a decision without talking about this too much, but I'm going to take Chris Godwin. I still like what Chris Godwin's able to do with this team. He's coming back. He's healthy, ready to go. So I think I got a good wide receiver 3 and Chris Godwin for my flex. And then what I was talking about here is Bo Nix is available right now. I could have waited and not grabbed Joe Burrow and got Bo Nix here in the 7th. That's one of my favorite ways to go about it, but I'm not mad that I have the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack. So I'm going to quit talking about that. And then after this, I'm really looking at grabbing another running back and staying balanced. Quinshad Judkins just got in trouble with battery and got arrested. I don't think that affects him this year, probably next year. I'm going to go with another running back. I'm going to go with a running back 3 here. And I'm going to take the upside and someone I think is really going to shine. And I'm going to go Caleb Johnson. I just think, Jalen Warren is definitely going to be there all year, but Caleb Johnson has the ability to really shine in this offense. And he's a big-bodied running back. The offensive line is really good. They got some young players that are getting older and getting more experienced. And Aaron Rodgers isn't very mobile, so Caleb Johnson could end up being a big piece for this team. Grabbing him in the 7th round, I'm fine with it there.
I think he slides right into Najee Harris role. There's no difference in touches.
But I think he's going to be a better version of what Najee was able to do. You know what I mean? And Najee was good, man. He was good for fantasy. Wasn't great, but I think this kid has a chance to be great. So what do you think about the start, though? Did I mess up my pick with taking Joe Burrow instead of taking?
No, I think when Burrow makes it to 4, that's where he's worth pulling the trigger on. I think if I'm remembering this correct, he led the league in games with 3 or more passing touchdowns. So you're going to get those explosive weeks, and if I get that, then I'm willing to spend a 4th rounder on him. Yeah,
absolutely. What about Chris Godwin? What about my pick there for my wide receiver 3?
Godwin, I'm cold off of this year. Like the injuries, the competition, all of that makes me nervous. So
Amika Egbuka, Mike Evans. You got Jalen McMillan. You got a lot of a lot of competition there, but when Godwin was healthy, he was the guy. So I'm hoping that resumes. And I just like the upside over Stephon Diggs, Khalil Shakir, Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley was the other one I was considering.
Yeah, I like the Ridley pick for sure.
Yeah. Looking back on it now, I probably would have gone Ridley, but on the clock, that things happen.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Jones goes to the auto draft. We got Jerry Jeudy partnered up with Hunter and Lamb in that wide receiver room. Does Chris Lagan take another rookie running back? Is he mad that I took Caleb Johnson?
Does he go Judkins? Let's just stick to it. Come on.
Judkins can't fall too far. All right. Yeah. Shane, I don't know about you, but at your pick, his ADP is 67. If you get him in the 8th round, not a bad fall. Do you really put it this way? Do you think Quinshon Judkins, nothing happens to him this year, right?
I don't think so. We just rarely see that.
He takes him.
Yep. Lean into it, man. I applaud you for leaning into it.
Yeah. He's consistent if he's not nothing, right?
You don't see very many instances where it's the same year suspension happening. So
no, I think he's safe this year. Does it affect him in the locker room? Does it, I'm not sure. I still like Judkins. If he hadn't gotten arrested, I would have drafted him higher than where he's being drafted now. So you kind of got to throw that out right now. And in Dynasty, it hurts just because he's probably going to suffer a suspension at some point. Okay, Huang. We got Nakua, Harrison, Addison. He goes Travis Kelce in the 7th round. It's still a little rich for my blood with Kelce. I would have liked him to go a little bit later. I would have grabbed him in the 8th round. Obviously, on my turn, my next pick, 8 or 9 if he fell.
Oh man, I gotta keep my fingers crossed here and hope I don't get sniped.
Oh boy!
You know what? You can guess what I'm hoping for here.
Oh, well, of course. It's who I talked about at my pick is Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Grabbing him at the end of the 7th round.
Dream scenario for me if it could happen. And it doesn't happen.
And it doesn't. Lagan takes him. So you got sniped twice with the Pacheco pick and the Bo Nix pick. Yeah, understandable. That's a great pick. It's only my first mock draft, right? This is my first draft of the season with you, but Bo Nix in the 7th round. Waiting all the way then to get a quarterback is.
So I think I'm gonna do a couple of
pivot. Shane.
I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna wait. There's a bunch of quarterbacks I like, that are similar range. So I am going to just go. This is the point where I still like upside that I'll continue to go with. So I'm gonna go 1. Double up on the receiving options in San Francisco.
Okay.
I like that. There's not a ton I like in the running back room here right now.
Tyrone Tracy.
So that's what I was going to talk about. I'm going to go with the guy who I think is the starter day 1. I don't think Scatterboo comes in and takes a ton of touches.
Here's the thing. You got to plant your flag on one of them, right? And grabbing Tyrone Tracy in the 8th round, if he ends up being the guy where, this happens every year. You have a veteran running back who didn't really impress too much, and then you bring in a rookie running back, and everyone's like, oh, it's the new hotness, right? It's not always the case. Very much likely that Tracy is there. Ayuk goes in the 8th round. Wasn't expecting that from Lagan. No. Ayuk's going to start on the pup. So
I don't think he's coming.
That's his wide receiver 3. So that's a little shocking to me. Yeah. Jonnu Smith goes in the 8th round to the auto draft team, the Jared Goff. Huang goes with Travis Etienne, one of the last running backs on here that is the starter, right? We have Brian Robinson's still available. We have Scatterbo.
Yeah, I was torn between Etienne and Tracy. I go back and forth on my Etienne opinion each week.
You were high on him during our running back episode, so I can understand. But this round 8 is where it dries up. This is the end of the starters and in round 8.
I will say 9. you should have some nice tight ends still falling to you though.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
I like the tight ends depths here still.
Yeah, well, there goes Mark Andrews. So Chris likes the tight end depth as well right here. We'll see where Mike McLean goes here. Jacoby Myers. I kind of wanted him at my pick. I really like Jacoby Myers. Then we got Kyler Murray goes to the auto draft team. Danny Cousins goes with Evan Ingram. Darn it.
There's one of them that goes that I was going to say.
I wanted him so bad. I wanted him so bad.
Oh.
Other tight ends available right now, Njoku, Tyler Warren. Yeah. So there's still some available.
Njoku and Warren look, I think, look good to me. And then it's kind of a drop-off tier for me.
Yeah, I still have Njoku over Warren.
Yeah,
Warren is an interesting pick, but I think I'd rather go Njoku, and we'll see if he falls to me.
Cooper Kupp. What do we think on Cooper Kupp? Is it?
Look, I have something in my throat. I'll let you go ahead.
I just, part of me is like, okay, it's going to be a decent offense. He's the number 2 option. He's playing the slot probably a lot, but then I'm like, he's 31, going to be 32, battling injuries, not a good offensive coach. So,
yeah, Cooper Kupp to me, I'll talk about him in a minute. Coles thinks he's funny taking Colston Loveland ahead of me, acting like he sniped me. But I wasn't going to take Colston Loveland there. I do like him. I would probably take him in round 10 or 11 if he fell, but that's wishful thinking. It's just a little high for me. You know,
I agree.
I'm going to go ahead and take David Njoku here with one of my picks, locking in who I consider, a top 10 tight end. I'm not sure what tight end he's being drafted as. I didn't check how many are already drafted, but and then my other pick, Juwan Jennings, is demanding a contract situation. He wants to get paid or he wants to be traded. I really like Juwan Jennings. I think he's going to get paid.
They're not trading them.
They can't trade.
There's no way. No.
And I'm going to bank on them paying him, and I'll take Juwan Jennings. He was able to do some really good things with that offense last year. He showed some spurts. He's being drafted after Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams. Ricky Pearsall. Yeah. Slicky Ricky. You took him. And then Coles takes Caleb Williams, second quarterback. I feel like he's trolling right now. I don't know why. Taking Loveland and then Caleb in the 9th. It's kind of where Caleb's going, so it's understandable. But to grab your second quarterback in the 9th round of a 1 quarterback roster, I feel like he's doing a little bit of a troll job. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah. The only thing sometimes I will do in drafts, if I get to the 9th, 10th round, if I have not taken quarterback at that point, I will kind of go back to back or 2 within 3 rounds.
Oh, you know what? You know what happened here? I think he's erasing the Jalen Hurts pick.
Okay.
It was an auto pick. He didn't want him on the team. I'm sure he wanted somebody else, depending on the situation. But I think he would have taken Caleb at 9 if he didn't get that auto pick. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening there. And then Michael Pittman. So Austin fires off 4 wide receivers after taking Bijan and David Montgomery. So going DJ Moore. Well, he waited for wide receivers since the first 3 rounds. He took an elite tight end and elite quarterback. So understandable why he would fire off the 4 right here. But Waddle, Shakir, Kupp, and Pittman. Danny Cousins is about to be auto-picked, but takes Brian Robinson just quick enough. And then we got Tyler Warren. A lot of tight ends going in this range right here, right? Yeah. We got Ingram, Loveland, and Njoku, Warren, and then Kincaid. Mike McLean taking Dalton Kincaid. What is there to say about Dalton Kincaid that we didn't talk about in the last episode,
Yeah.
Jaden Higgins.
Wow.
Jaden Higgins, I like the pick. I think Jaden Higgins is going to have a big season. A lot of opportunity there. They do have Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
And you do have Nico Collins, right? And they're going to get theirs. But Jaden Higgins has the opportunity with what's his name being injured. I can't even think of his name right now.
Tank Dell.
Thank you very much, Shane. And then we got Jaden Reed from Huang. We got Scatterbo and Debo going to the auto draft teams. And then Matthew Golden going to Lagan. So, Shane, you're on the clock. What are you thinking here?
So
talk to me about what you got.
So there's a group that I waited on, and I'm fine. I'm going to go with the quarterback that has the fifth easiest schedule, and I'm just going to pair him up with my Kittle pick. I think he's got a pretty decent floor. I'll probably take another one, a QB2 later. But at this point, there's still plenty to wait on that I think has high upside. So now I'm looking at wide receivers, and I'm torn between two guys. One is I can go the safe route, what I think is a safe route, and one's a little bit more upside. I think I've got plenty of upside with Pearsall and McMillan, and so I'm going with a guy I'm going to bank on that he's going to be kind of replicate. He got off to a good start last year, and maybe I'm pivoting because I got Drake London. I'm not going with Mooney. I'm going to go with the upside pick. I was going to go Mooney, but I didn't want to pair him up with Drake London. I was remembering who I took earlier. So
see, I thought you were going to go Josh Downs. I thought that's where you were going to go. I see a lot of people very high on Josh Downs this year. But Egbuka, right? You got the upside. Yeah. They talk a lot about Egbuka on that team. And then Josh Downs goes right after you. I wonder if he wanted him there, if he wanted Egbuka or not. But and then we got Debo, Darnell, and then Darnell Mooney right after. So the three guys that were available all went right there. And then we got Jalen Warren going to the auto draft. Huang takes Zach Charbonnet.
Yeah, so he handcuffs his Walker pick.
And that's a great strategy. Charbonnet is a great pick by itself, even if you don't have Walker. So league winner last year. Chris Lagan taking Justin Fields as his quarterback one.
Okay, so that is a good QB1 if you're going to wait that long. Plenty of, there's definitely top 10 upside there.
Yes, absolutely. I was looking at the numbers today on quarterback passing yards. They have statted out Fields. His over-under is like 2,600 yards. Mm-hmm. It's the lowest out of any quarterback. So, take that what you will. I'm sure if he plays a full 17 games, he's going to throw over 2,600 yards. So, and then Tucker Kraft. So McLean waited, double tapped Kincaid and then Kraft and then 10th. I almost like Kraft as a better pick than Kincaid.
Yes, I think so too.
Around later. And then we got Javonte Williams going to the auto draft. Keon Coleman, great pick in the 10th round by Danny Cousins. Mm-hmm. And then Ramondre Stevenson as his RB3. Interesting. All right, Coles is on the clock. I am going to be next here. Let's see what we got. So players that are available. We got Jordan Mason, Tyjae Spears. I'm not looking at a quarterback here. Let's see. Rashad White, Trey Harris, Rashid Shaheed, Jadon Blue, Luther Burden, Marvin Mims, Bayshawn Tootin. And I think I'm going to go with I'm sure he's going to fall, but at one of these picks, I'm taking J.K. Dobbins here in the 11th round probably. Coles is going to be auto drafted. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Coles.
I think he starts off. He's the starter.
Who? J.K. Dobbins?
Yeah, he's going to start the year off.
I agree. I do think he's going to start the year off. Now, my question here is, do I go with I think I'm going to take another wide receiver. So Trey Harris looked really good in camp, in rookie camp. He gets a lot of high praise. But I think I'm going to go with another Denver player. And I think I'm going to take Marvin Mims. Marvin Mims caught a lot of steam later on in the season. Mm-hmm. It's between him and a bunch of other rookies. I think Marvin Mims has a lot of opportunity in this offense. So I'm going to go with Mims, and then I'm going to follow it up with another Bronco and go Dobbins. And I feel pretty good about that with some depth at those two positions. What do you think, Shane?
Yeah, Mims, I think, is gaining. I think you're going to see his ADP rising. He is, I think, the wide receiver 2 there for sure. He'll be challenging Ingram for the second most targets, most games. So he had some nice games. He had some nice high explosive games a couple last years.
And I guess I'm all in on Denver because I was talking about how much I wanted to draft Bo Nix in the 7th. I got Cortland Sutton in the 5th. And I got J.K. Dobbins in the 11th. I wanted Evan Ingram there in the 8th. So taking taking Cortland Sutton in the 5th, Bo Nix in the 7th, Ingram in the 8th, and then we go Mims in the 10th, Dobbins in the 11th. That's best ball over there. All right. Anyway, we got Tyjae Spears going off the board to Coles.
Like Spears, yep.
Yeah, Spears is interesting there. I'd still rather have Dobbins over Spears, which is why I took him there.
Yeah.
But and then we got Jake Ferguson going as his tight end 2. Only a couple rounds left, and then Rico Dowdle for Danny Cousins. Dowdle's an interesting pick. I don't know.
Did Danny take Hubbard? Is that why?
He did.
Yeah. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, handcuff there with Dowdle.
Yeah.
And then Jordan Love going off the board as a quarterback 2 for the auto drafting team. Where does Mike McLean go here? We got 2 tight ends back-to-back last 2 picks. He takes Jadon Blue. That's someone that I was considering. I probably would draft Jadon Blue after Rico Dowdle, probably before Spears, but that's, comparing. Anyway, Dak Prescott he takes as his quarterback.
That's a great team. That is a great team up of back-to-back quarterbacks.
Yeah, this is the strategy I want to talk about. Chris Lagan takes 3 wide receivers early and then grabs questionably, whether you feel this way or not, 3 rookie running backs with high upside, grabs Andrews, waits all the way till round 10 to grab his quarterback. But notice how he double taps.
Yeah.
If you're waiting until round 10, you want to double tap, taking Fields, the upside with Fields and the stability with Prescott.
Yep. That's how you
do great combo there in the 10th and 11th round.
And that's what I will be doing also. And I've got 3 guys in mind for upside picks because I think Purdy's the safe floor quarterback. So I'm looking at, and I'm honestly just going back and forth between these guys. I look at Trevor Lawrence, I look at Drake May, and I look at Cam Ward. Those are my 3, I think, upside picks. I think I had initially Lawrence rated higher because of the weapons. But May and his rushing ability is leaning on me as far as Cam Ward is also. So I'm going to take May for now, but I'm going to be trying to make this decision all summer long between those type of guys.
Yeah. And you're drafting May over CJ Stroud. But it's the upside, right? You have Brock Purdy. You have that stability there for your quarterback room. But if Drake May ends up having a phenomenal sophomore season, which some people think he will, grabbing him there.
Yeah. I have to make another one.
Yes, you do. I was letting you talk.
As I'm talking here, I'm just going on.
Yeah, you got another one picked there.
Let's see here. Swift. No, I don't need to worry about backing up anybody. So I'm going to take upside pick here. And just in case an injury happens, I've got then
Isaac,
the guy who has produced in that offense if an injury happens to McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of people are banking on McCaffrey getting injured again, and taking Guarendo is an interesting pick, right?
You got upside. We're in the backup guys. So you're going to be looking at Guarendo, Benson, Ray Davis, Algier.
Any backups with immense upside to where they will be a top 15 guy if given the opportunity. Guarendo is that. So you're absolutely right.
I think Ray Davis is that. I think Algier is that.
There's quite a few guys on the
could be
on the
Nick
list
Chubb maybe now. If something happens to Mixon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess right. Bayshell Tootin, interesting pick there. This Jacksonville running back room. I feel like people are just completely discounting Tank Bigsby.
Yeah,
Tank Bigsby looked really good last year. So taking Tootin over Bigsby is interesting. I mean, grabbing the rookie, we'll see what happens with that. CJ Stroud, Rashad White go, and then Jack Beck.
Yeah,
is that Jack Beck, right? Jack, that's his name, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Jack Beck going to Huang. And then Brenton Strange, Shane.
Oh, it's good. That's my guy.
Yeah, I'm surprised, because you drafted an early tight end. You would have drafted Strange there in the 12th if you didn't, but he grabs his second tight end. In the middle rounds, I was very questionable about what Chris Lagan was doing with drafting those rookie running backs. But now, as his team has progressed, I don't hate it. Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. And then McLean goes Trevor Lawrence. Is that his quarterback one? No, he's got Jaden Daniels, so grabs the second quarterback with Trevor Lawrence. And then Bateman goes to the reserve now. Shane, are you going to you waited for your quarterback? I drafted Joe Burrow. I will not be drafting a second
I think you're safe. You don't need to. No.
It's a one quarterback, 12-team league. There's going to be quarterbacks available on the waiver wire. If I need to stream, I will on a bye week. But I'm not someone who drafts two quarterbacks. And I would advise everybody, depending on your situation with your league's settings and layout. Anyway, so I got Njoku as my tight end. I got Burrow. I got Jacobs, Taylor, Caleb, and I got Dobbins, Mims, Jennings, Godwin, Sutton, Jamar Chase. I feel like my team is pretty much set. I'm grabbing some depth here. People that are available. Rashid Shaheed is still available. Quite a ways past his ADP. Tank Bigsby, Kyle Pitts. I'm going to go with someone that has upside, that the wide receiver room is pretty much wide open. He should be the wide receiver 2 there, and that's Kyle Williams for New England and Drake May. I think he has a lot of opportunity with that offense. The receivers they drafted last year just didn't really pan out. They didn't. Jalen Polk and I can't think of the other guy's name, but I think Kyle Williams is getting a lot of praise, so I like that pick there. And then after that, my second to last pick. I could really go anywhere here. I like Hollywood Brown in Kansas City. I think he could have a lot of good seasons, but I'm going to grab one more running back as my running back 5. Someone with upside that we talked about. Tank Bigsby is not someone I'm considering here. Austin Eckler is actually interesting to me. He's got some standalone value in that offense. He had quite a bit of receptions, but I'm going to go ahead and take Hollywood Brown. I was about to expire there, so I'll take Hollywood Brown. I like Hollywood. I think he still there's room for him in this offense, even with Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce. I think Hollywood Brown, with his second year in this offense, can do some damage. So I like him as some depth there. And then Coles goes Jerome Ford, good old Uncle Ford. We love drafting Jerome Ford. He took Ray Davis, Tyjae Spears, Jordan Mason. Loves grabbing these high upside running backs late in drafts.
Mm-hmm.
After going with Coles did the typical hero RB, grabs Barkley, then goes wide receiver, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, and then straight backups. 4 running backs. Right, you're grabbing as your RB2, but Jordan Mason as an RB2 isn't terrible. No. He's going to get some work there in Minnesota. It's not going to be great. I think he probably waited a little bit too long to grab an RB2. Probably, he got screwed up with the quarterback, Jalen Hurts being auto drafted for him. I'm not sure what's going on. My voice is. Pardon me. I keep getting a tickle in my voice.
Christian Kirk, Shaheed. I don't know why. Like, I'm still going to draft Christian Kirk ahead of Higgins. He's going to be the slot wide receiver. Like, he thrives in that role.
So you think Kirk is a good value at around 13?
I think he's a great value. I'm really surprised. Like, I would take him over like Bateman, Keenan Allen, who's not even on a team right now, and that offense where they're dying for a wide receiver too.
I didn't even realize Austin took Keenan Allen with that pick. That threw me for a loop. Austin is a character, taking Keenan Allen over guys like Kyle Williams, Hollywood Brown, Christian Kirk, even Rashid Shaheed. Say what you want about him in that offense, but at least he's on a team. That's hilarious. Let me get your opinion. Is Keenan Allen going to get signed anywhere? Because we also need Amari Cooper to get signed.
I think they both get signed at some point. I think
we got to figure it out. Anyway, we got Trey Benson, Tank Bigsby, Cam Ward going to Huang as his quarterback too. I don't mind it. I mean,
No.
that's the only way I would be okay with grabbing a tight end, or I'm sorry, a quarterback. Second one, after you drafted elite quarterback, taking a guy like with upside that you can use as trade bait later on in the season if somebody gets hurt. Shane, Penix goes right before you. Algier goes right before you. Penix is another one with high upside.
Yeah,
in my
he
opinion.
is.
Grabbing these guys in the 13th round, if they fell in the 14th, I'd be taking them. But
I mean, I'm gonna go with like, there's another guy that slides and people just forget about him. I'm going with Cedric Tillman. Like, he had a 5-game stretch last year where he was a top 15 wide receiver. Then he had had a concussion and he missed games, but he probably starts off as the wide receiver 2 with Joe Flacco, and he'll have some decent games. So and then I'm going to just wrap up. I always, I will wrap up with the highest upside running back probably that is on the board. And so it's either between, for me, it's either Braylon Allen or Jalen Wright. And I'll just go with one of them. I'll probably flip flop between those two. Nick Chubb. I mean,
I'm excited. I'm excited to see how they use Jalen Wright this year. Because I probably would have gone Braylon Allen personally. I think with his ability, but then again, you got that offense. It's hard for me to draft Jets. Any player for the Jets. I don't think the Jets are going to be good this year.
I see what you think, because I have DeAndre Swift, but I just don't know if Rashawn Johnson comes in and does that well if something even happened to Swift. Like, if he's the guy.
I can hope that it works out, but I don't think it actually will. So, all right. Anyway, looking in this last round 14, Jalen Wright, Rashawn Johnson, Dylan Sampson. Interesting pick with Dylan Sampson. He's got some upside there in Cleveland. Jalen McMillan, great pick in the 14th round. Leggett. Adam Thielen, is he still playing in the NFL? That's crazy. Devin Neal for New Orleans. Intriguing, high upside if something happened to Kamara. Nick Chubb, we talked about Nick Chubb having the upside in case Joe Mixon goes down. Chubb, say what you want about that injury. The guy was insanely good when he before this injury. So we'll see if he can finally get the opportunity to showcase that ability again. Braylon Allen going for Danny Cousins. We talked about Braylon Allen. I like him this year. As a late round flyer on a guy.
Yeah, I think looking back, I would rather take him, because there's a couple of things that could happen with Braylon Allen. Either one, the coach speak is the truth, and they are going to have a timeshare, or maybe we do see Breece Hall get traded at some point in the season.
Absolutely. And I am here with my last pick.
By the way, Cole's just totally trolled on the last one.
Of course he did. I didn't even see that, taking Henry Ruggs. The fact that he's even in sleeper and he's even draftable. Coles, you're a dog. You're a dog. With this last pick, I'm going to go ahead and take an upside guy that a lot of people don't want, and for good reason. Taking Kyle Pitts. Taking him as a last pick, I don't mind it. He's got upside. You're drafting him in a spot where he can sit on your bench and do nothing, and it wouldn't bother you, right? Because that's why it was bothering people who was in their starting lineup. So anyway, that concludes our draft. Thank you for everybody that joined and participated in the draft. And just speaking to everybody who's still watching, thank you. If you guys want to get involved and do these drafts with us and do these mocks, we're always looking to bring new people in. Danny Cousins was one of our original roadies watching the show. So Danny, shouts out to you for joining the mock today, but contact us if you're looking to get involved. I know we'll reach out to you guys as well on Twitter. Make sure you follow the Fantasy Roadshow. But anyway, break down my team as if I didn't talk about it enough in this last hour. We got Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, Chris Godwin, Juwan Jennings with the contract situation. We'll see what happens. I think he gets paid. Marvin Mims, Kyle Williams, and Hollywood Brown. I feel really good about that wide receiver room, with the anchor being Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, one of the better wide receiver twos. Godwin has upside. We'll see what that offense looks like with all that new competition. Feel really good about the wide receiver room. And then Jacobs and Taylor as my 1-2 combo punch for running backs with Caleb Johnson, the upside, and then J.K. Dobbins, who is the starter. Just having the 4 running backs is interesting. Probably would have wanted one more if I look back on it now, but I'm okay with that, with having the 2 studs that I have with Jacobs and Taylor. And then Joe Burrow in the 4th round to pair with Chase. It doesn't get much better than that with having a Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase combo. So that's my team. Shane, how do you feel that your team went?
I love the first 3 picks. I mean, that's a dream scenario for me. London, Genty, McLaurin. I love that. That's great. We'll see if Kittle does what he does last year, or even a little bit more. I'm going to love it. I'm anxious to do another mock where I wait on tight end and see if I like that, where I get my wide receiver room that I love. I love the McMillan value in round 6, the Pearsall value in round 7. I would have loved my team probably like an A level if I would have had Nix as QB1 over Purdy. So I take it down a little bit notch with Purdy there. Like I talked about, I'm going to have some. I'm going to be going back and forth in it. By the end of the summer, I will have solidified who my QB2 upside pick is going to be. It's going to be very fluid between the guys I talked about. So.
I mean, you could have waited. Actually, you wouldn't. In another draft, you may have been able to wait, but Cam Ward and Penix both go before your next pick. So you were right taking Drake May, in my opinion, there. But yes, understandable. Yeah, Shane, I think you had a good team. I like your team. Grabbing those 3, really the first 4 picks are phenomenal with Kittle in the 4th. I think that's solid. And then you didn't draft another tight end. So overall, great job, Shane. And our first mock is in the books. I'm excited. We got more mocks coming. We got different formats, different strategies we're going to hit with you. We're going to be drafting from different positions. I'm not sure what's next. Maybe a super flex. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. But thank you for joining. Thank you for please follow the Fantasy Roadshow. Follow us on socials. Follow the Substack, thefantasyroadshow.substack.com. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and buckle up, folks.